maybe.
Oh, what the fuck, James? Jamie James. So yeah, I don't know exactly how this will work. It doesn't seem any different than the way we've done it before.
Okay.
Because, like, so...
It's not like you're
what we've been
masturbating.
using, as you know. I'm not. Don't worry. There's a reason my camera only shows me from the chest up. Anyway.
I put on pants in between the time you called and in between the time I answered.
Awesome.
In between the time you called and I answered, yes.
Well, so what we've been using is the Google Hangouts on air, and they've made this big deal about how they're not going to have Google Hangouts on air anymore. It's going to go completely to YouTube Live, and that's going to, be prepared for that. 'Cause blah blah blah. So this was the first week that they got rid of it. I think they dropped it on the 12th. They're like, no more Hangouts on air. So get prepared for the big shift to YouTube Live. Like, okay. So I go, I'm like, I want to do a live recording, and I want to go to YouTube. And they're like, oh, okay. You want to do the quick setup? It's like, yeah, sure, let's try that. He goes, we'll do a quick setup using Google Hangouts on Air. And it just switched me back over to Hangouts on Air. Like it wasn't even a thing.
And we're back. Same old, same old.
Yeah.
The more things change, the more things stay the same.
Yeah, it seemed kind of pointless. So it's like, well, all right. Glad you have warned us about the big transition.
Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Many things are half the battle.
What's the other half, though? They never talk about that.
Losing.
Losing. Knowing and losing. That's war.
I knew I was going to lose.
Everybody's one half losing and one half knowing you're going to lose.
That's kind of defeatist. Sad but true. Okay. Oh, teaching is wonderful.
Why, your back hurt?
Yes, my back hurts because when we check in cell phones at the beginning of the day, I have to like lean over the fucking table for 15 minutes, and it's fucking awkward. My problem is I'm too tall.
So wait, what are you talking about? Checking in cell phones?
When at the very beginning of the day,
uh-huh.
all the students come in, they go through a metal detector, they get their bag search, and they hand in all their cell phones. So if they have a cell phone, they're not allowed to have it during the day. So we'd like take them and put them in little bags with their names on it so they can get them back at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like set up doing that, and I'm at a table, and the table's like a little bit low, so I have to bend over awkwardly in order to like get their cell phones and put them in the bags and all that happy horse shit. And it bugs my back. I've taken to standing with a very wide stance, so it like lowers me, so I'm comparatively not, so it's more comfortable. But it's still kind of a fucking pain.
And so the kids can't sneak cell phones in? The metal detector grabs all that?
Well, apparently some of them do. There's this one girl I know who I heard she had a cell phone. I didn't actually see her with it. Because if I said I saw her with it, then somebody would hear this and be like, James, you're not doing your job. You should have taken that cell phone away with it. But I didn't see her with it. That's the story. And what she does is she has this elaborate like embroidered cell phone case that she carries, and she like gives me that, and so I put that in her little cell phone purse, case to keep for the school to keep and give back to her at the end of the day. So that's the end of the story, really. So if you were going to sneak a cell phone in, it would be good to like make people think that you turned your cell phone in, but not really turn it in.
So the case, is it a soft case or a hard case?
It's kind of it's a soft case. It's like it looks like a little miniature purse. It's just the right size to hold a cell phone.
And you can't tell if there's a cell phone in there or no?
Apparently not. Or maybe there is a cell phone in there and it's just
It's not the
not.
one
I mean,
she's
maybe
using.
she has two, and she has like a dumb phone and a smartphone, and she keeps the smartphone.
See, that's what I would do. I would
Yeah,
totally not give up my cell phone.
that's pretty smart.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you guys. Here's a fake phone.
Yeah, phone
What are you gonna
fakers.
do? Pat me down?
Yeah,
So they're all wearing uniforms?
they're not wearing uniforms per se. Like not everybody's wearing identical stuff, but there's a very strict dress code. I mean, you have to wear like certain kind of pair of pants, and like you're allowed to like certain like polos or button downs or certain shirts, or you can wear like a college shirt because it's like we're college bound, so it's cool. So you can wear like a shirt that says University of Oklahoma or Vanderbilt or whatever.
Like a T-shirt?
T-shirts, yeah. Although most people wear like sweatshirts. I don't understand how they can wear sweatshirts all day long because the school is not that cold to me,
Yeah.
and there's like outside, like some of the seniors go outside during lunch, so I don't understand that either.
See, I'm a big fan of the hoodie. And I've lost some weight, and I'm not always hot. Like,
Yeah,
I make my house cold. And I say cold, it's 2 degrees warmer than it used to be when I was morbidly obese. Like, I used to keep it at 68. Now I keep it at 70. And that's cool enough for me to, like, want to put on my hoodie, which is what I like because I like wearing my hoodie. It's comfy.
hoodies are comfy. Yeah, definitely comfy, definitely comfy.
So I'm a fan of the hoodie. I keep one. I bring it to my office. It's cold enough for me to wear it, and I like wearing it because again, comfy. But it only works if it's cool. So I'm looking forward to it getting cold. Although, having lost the weight, I will probably be shaking like a dog shitting a peach pit. I'm so cold all the time. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's interesting with the phone thing. Like, I had a phone in high school.
I did not.
Well, mine was it was a bag phone.
A bag phone? Like it took a whole bag in order to use it?
Yeah, dude, it was like the size of a purse. It had a cell phone in it, and you could charge it up. You plug it into your cigarette lighter, and it would charge it. And you could get, it would say charge for 6 hours, and you could get like 30 minutes of call time on it.
Ah.
My dad got it, like, he got a car phone when car phones first kind of popped up. And then he bought that so he could, like, have a phone with him when he was on call.
Yeah,
and then,
being a doctor and all.
yeah, so it made sense. But then he turned that over to me when he got a more sophisticated car phone. I mean, this is before, like, flip phones and shit. Those big stupid 80s things. It was a remnant. So I had that. I couldn't sneak that into the school in my fucking book bag. It was huge. And there was no point. Like, who would I call? No one.
Ghostbusters?
Like, nobody else said car phones. Like, it was, I'd call somebody's house and be like, why are you calling? He's in school. It would have been pointless. But if I was in high school now, I would totally not give up my phone. I would have burners. Like, I just get burners. Me and my friends would all get burners and just have, like, so at the very least you could text.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, but I don't know.
I'd be hacking calculators. You could get a burner and hack that into like a TRS-80 or not TRS-80. What is it? The TI-85.
Yeah, 85. Yeah.
Yeah, you could totally hack that and mod a phone into that case. So no, that's my calculator. Piece of cake.
That would be an awesome idea. People, yeah. You should like get in league with like some of the people at my high school, and like I'm sure a bunch of the students would be very interested in doing that because like I'm working on my calculator, blah blah blah. But it's like it's got like a FaceTime version of the 380 pixel TI-85 screen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
that would there's got to be a actually. The more I talk about whenever something like this comes up, the more I talk about it, I'm like, somebody's already thought of this. Somebody's already thought of this.
It's got to be out there. Like when all we had were those TI-85s, we had programs written for them to where we could like play Snake and stuff like that on the calculator. Like that was what our limited tech was. And we're already like going, well, how can I be at school and not pay attention? So in the world
I mean,
with
people have been finding, yeah, kids have been finding ways to ignore teachers or like get away with stuff since school has been a thing.
yeah, like
It's like it's the birthright.
yeah, like freshman year of high school, we didn't. There were some. Like I said, there were some phones, but texting wasn't a thing. It was going to be years before texting made sense to anybody. But we used to pass notes around class with a tennis ball.
Oh yeah.
You take a tennis ball, cut a slit in it, and then you squeeze it open, put a note inside, and you could chuck it across the room.
The teacher would be like, "Stop throwing balls."
No, we do it behind her back.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you turn to the ball, turn to the board, you just whip it. Do you have a chalkboard still?
It's a dry erase board.
Hmm.
No chalk. I miss the chalk. I miss the heady days of chalking.
It's a fucking mess. And we used to steal the chalk to write obscenities around the school. No, the technology thing is interesting because New York, a little while ago, I don't know if you remember hearing about this, they were setting up this thing called Link NYC, where they're going to be putting these kiosks all around the city that had free Wi-Fi, like gigabit Wi-Fi, all over the city.
Yeah.
And they have like a little tablet that you could use. It's open for the public. So if you need to hop up, make a phone call, or check your email or something like that, you could do it. The why you would do anything personal on a public kiosk, I do not understand. But, so they have these things set up. There are about 400 of them around the city. Oh, hey, by the way, James, welcome to Dorque.
Hey! I'm James Brown.
I'm Nick Moore.
I'm James Brown. And you're listening to
Dorque. Episode 127.
I said it twice, so I was supposed to say that. Of course, I don't know what the episode number is.
Yeah, this is 127.
I'm taking my pants off.
Nice. Nice ass, James. So they got these kiosks set up all over the city, and they've had to bork them. Like, they had to, turn off. Like, they're leaving the Wi-Fi portion on, but they're turning off the public access computer terminal. Because most people have just taken them over.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like, this is my office now. This is my computer. And, so they just take it over and start, working from it.
Somebody should have foreseen.
Yeah, you think. So, there's a picture of a homeless guy in a rolling chair pulled up to one of these kiosks. Like, he's just sitting at it. Just bogarting the thing all fucking day. It's like, that's a problem. The other problem is porn. People are just getting on it and just turning on porn.
Yeah.
Which is awkward for businesses around it. So they're like, all right, we're going to turn that off until we can, put in time limits or something so that the homeless people can't just live here and jerk off in front of Saks Fifth Avenue or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, because you're in a jerk off, that's the place to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where the porn is. But I think just having Wi-Fi terminals, public Wi-Fi terminals all around the city, is a good start. I would love it for Baton Rouge to do something like that. She's like, hey, here's Wi-Fi for you.
I think they have it. They have it downtown, don't they?
Do they?
They're going crazy. I feel like they do. I feel like it was very shitty.
It probably is. It
was unreliable.
Any public service in this city is pretty shitty.
Pretty shitty. So just to swing back to the calculator thing, there's an article about what's hiding in your child's calculator from 2015, and there's also a cheat at school Galaxy S2 inside of a calculator
awesome.
From 3.5 years ago. So obviously we're behind the curve on this, but at 3.5 years ago I wasn't working in high school, so it wasn't one of the things that was going on.
High school is a lot like prison. And I'm not even kidding.
There are parallels. I have some people that would be upset by that, but there are parallels. I'm not saying that it's bad, that it's but there's a sense of control when it comes to what your choices are. I mean, you're not the one being in control. Is what I'm saying.
Well, you went to Baton Rouge High, right? Yeah, I went to McKinley.
Okay.
And it was like, so my mom is an example of the environment. My mom got called to do one of the parent patrol things where they would have parents volunteer and they come to the school and they get a walkie-talkie.
Huh?
And they wander the halls and they look for kids that are out of class.
Oh,
right?
so like adult hall monitors, basically. Exactly.
So I get home and my mom goes, "Hey, I was at your school today." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, what?" She goes, No. I did the parent patrol. And I was like, "Don't do that. Don't do that." She said, "Why?" I was like, "Don't do that. It's not safe for you there. It's not safe. You're going to get your ass kicked." It's like if there were substitute guards at the prison. It was like, "Oh, we're going to fuck with this person now."
Substitute.
I said, "Don't do it again. Like, you don't know what you get into. It's fucking dangerous." I could go there, and I'm a student. I just kind of blend in, and just keep your head down. It's just like fucking prison. Just keep your head down. Don't, you have a
Don't call attention
routine.
to yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. You have a routine that you stick to every day. Because otherwise, there were fights on the hour every day. And it was we're not going to get into a fight. I'm just going to not get into a fight. Oh, looks like Jason's getting his ass kicked. Well, he should have kept his head down. It's rough. You're going out in the yard. You got to know. Dude, it was nonstop violence and shitty food. And most of the staff hated our living guts. It's not cool. We had a disciplinarian with a paddle in his office they would use.
Oh, in high school?
Yes.
Huh.
It had justice or something written.
Yeah.
The kid's parents. He'd be like, "Hey, can I paddle him?" He'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he did.
He's like, "I'm 16. Yeah, you're still not of age." Thwack, thwack.
Yeah, your mother gave me permission to do this.
Say
Mr.
hello.
Brown, Eugene Brown. He's the principal there now, I think. See, it's different for you, man. You went to Baton Rouge High, and all of Baton Rouge High was just basically a whole school of gifted kids.
Yeah.
That was the whole school.
Yeah, I will not argue with you that I did not have the typical American high school experience, especially given what I've seen in pop culture. My high school was never like that.
Yeah. You had a bunch of I don't know, people like, "Hey, let's be creative and learn and encourage one another in our pursuits." Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, the biggest our discipline problem. Oh, he's wearing a hat. Ah, shit. That's you're breaking the rules. You're not supposed to wear hats. It's like, oh, okay, here's my hat, and that's over.
Right.
I don't
My
think I would.
school. Hey, you're not supposed to be wearing a hat. Shut the fuck up before I stab you with a pin. All right. Well, that's.
What the fuck's wrong with this?
There we go. Yeah, I think maybe 30% of my school was the gifted program. The rest was anarchy, including the teachers. The regular teachers hated our guts. They fucking hated us. They treated us like dog shit. Anything they could do to make our lives difficult, they did with relish. Oh, pray you get into a class with one of them. They don't fucking care. They didn't give a shit, James. That school was a nightmare.
Yeah. I was very fortunate. I mean, I had a lot of teachers that were inspiring, and I told you, I've gotten into arguments about, how good my history teacher was.
Yeah. I think I had maybe 2 teachers my entire high school career. I was just like, "Oh, it's Blank's class today. Awesome." One was Miss Juno, who was my psych teacher. She was awesome. And then Mr. Gebauer, who was a history and sociology teacher.
Oh, what about your science teacher?
He was
I thought
awesome.
you were Didn't you have a science teacher that would had a doctorate in physics or something?
Oh, Mr. Namba. Yeah, I liked him, but not because of the way he taught. We could get him going. Yeah, we could get him going on different subjects. I'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Namba, let's talk about time travel today." And he'd be like, "Okay." And so we'd do that. It wasn't any shit that was on the test, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's cool. uh, well, anyhow. So yeah, so I teach high school. So I don't know if I've done anything so far that would like make people like 20 years from now going, "Oh, goddamn, I remember Mr. Brown's class. That was awesome and inspirational. It changed the course of my life." But as soon as I get
Well,
done with
didn't you
this
do a whole
podcast,
physics lesson? You did a whole physics lesson with Fast and Furious, right?
yeah, that was at the previous school, and I'm sure they're going to remember that, but I don't think it's going to like change the course of their life. Because like we're like dumping cars out of planes, and I'm pausing it and going, "All right, now look. Now the trajectory here implies that this car is going to do the such and such, but when it lands, watch what happens and where it is, and remember it's going to be accelerating at a rate of this, but once air resistance gets to a certain point, you're going to have terminal velocity because the force of gravity pulling down and the resistance of the air pushing up against the resisting that, hence air resistance, is going to equal out, and so it will fall at a constant rate." So you're smoking a pipe.
How'd you take the fun out of fucking Fast and Furious?
So that's what they're going to remember. It's like, oh yeah, remember that fun movie, Fast and Furious 7? Yeah, it wasn't as fun when Mr. Brown talked about it. Mr. Brown taking fun out of anything.
That.
Now everywhere I look, I see like numbers in newtons and meters per second squared.
But aren't you still teaching physics?
Yeah. I'm doing more of a very specific regimen, so I've gotten to put less of my personality into the class so far. But once I can like manage everything properly, and so like I can do a bunch of stuff on autopilot, I can be more Mr. Brown. Like there was in my 7th period class. At the end of the day, when they bring the cell phones back, they bring it back to your 7th period class. So
yeah.
One of the other science teacher, one of the biology teachers came in, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Mr. Welch! Yay, Mr. Welch!" And I was like, "Yo, Mr. Welch, he's here with your phones. He's not fat. He's skin and bones." And everyone's like, "Mr. Brown, you can rhyme? What? What's going on here?" It's the Antichrist, or what do you call it? It's the end of the world. What do you call that? Armageddon? It's the apocalypse. That's what I was looking for. The apocalypse.
We were close. Armageddon's kind of the same.
Yeah, Armageddon's more of a place. I mean, people use it interchangeably, but it like refers to the place where the battle at the end of the world is going to happen.
Oh, I thought it referred to the battle at the end of the world.
Well, whichever, but it's like the battle. It's not like the final revelation of everything happening in the world ending. Specificity, motherfucker.
So, James, speaking of battles, we missed the week.
Are you gonna talk about robots?
So we weren't able to talk about the conclusion.
Robots.
BattleBots.
BattleBots. It's robot fighting time. We've already missed the season finale. I mean, I saw it, but yes, it's been like over a week now.
Yeah.
Over a week. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And things went exactly as any bookie in Vegas said they would go. At least when all was said and done.
Yep.
It
was some bullshit.
I don't understand how you can say that. I'm not saying I like the fact that Tombstone kicked the shit out of I can't even remember the guy's name now. Battle Creek. Bombshell. God, what is happening with me? It's pushing all this information in and the shit is just falling out. But anyway, I'm not saying I like the fact that Tombstone won, but it was not much of a surprise.
See, Bombshell shouldn't have made it to the final. He shouldn't have been in the last fight. It should have been Minotaur.
Yeah, but Bombshell beat Minotaur. So
Yep. It's bullshit.
And the reason Bombshell beat Minotaur is because Bombshell had that fucking attachment on the front that made it a wedge and had the vertical spinner. And that was brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant. And why the fuck he didn't keep that for the battle with Tombstone, I will never know. I don't know if it was damaged or wasn't attached, or if he was just so attached to the idea that he had this horizontal spinning blade that he had designed specifically to take out Tombstone. So in his mind, Like, all right, we're going to use a horizontal spinning blade against Tombstone. Horizontal spinning blade against Tombstone. Never mind that the vertical blade and the wedge had like kicked the shit out of Minotaur, and who else did he beat right before that? But like, he'd like pulled out some serious shit with that attachment, and he should have just kept going with it. He looked like a fucking ragdoll when he came out with his own version, his like Tombstone Junior setup for his machine.
Yep. Like you just look at his body and you're like, oh yeah, that thing's gonna get torn up.
Yeah.
Quickly.
And it did.
It's been a long year.
Bracket.
Waiting around for that next fucking season.
Not Tombstone, BattleBots is like the most stressful time on television for me all the time. Because I really get into it, and if I'm like watching on the couch, at least once per episode, I will jump off the couch and like run toward the television like I'm about to jump into it and be like, ah!
Yeah, that last. Like when I sat down to watch it, I did not realize that it was going to go all the way to the final. And so like it got to like the 45-minute mark. It's like, oh, well, I guess the end. And they're like, all right, up next. And I was like, what? And I look at the time and it's like an hour and a half. I was like, fuck, they're going to do all of it tonight.
I know. I know.
I got so hyped. And then that happened. I mean, it was neat seeing Minotaur go down. All right. Didn't expect it. That's the drama and the excitement.
Yeah.
But I fucking despise Tombstone. That dude is a complete dickwad. And everything in his life should just be pain and failure. Yeah.
I mean, it did interest me that he was like kind of choking up at the very end, when he's like,
nope.
I'm glad
I told him to go fuck himself. Yeah, I screamed at my TV. I was like, fuck you and your fucking son, you fuck. Like, I was so not happy.
You goddamn bastard.
Like a fucking Patriots fan. Just yelling, fuck you. Was not happy.
Yeah, Bombshell beat Poison Arrow. Bombshell beat Poison Arrow, which is essentially a poor man's Minotaur right before that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. These brackets, I'm just looking at the bracket right now. It's definitely not the way I would have predicted a lot of these things to go, but like having Tombstone go all the way to the end, that's not really surprising. I would have expected it to be Minotaur and Tombstone. That would have been a really good fight, though.
Yeah, that would have been great.
But, Minotaur, I was so pissed off at Minotaur after it beat Bronco, though. Seriously. But, when I realized that Bronco was going to lose that fight?
Yeah.
Before the fight even began, when Bronco's team came out with the I don't know if it was Reason Bradley's daughter or whoever's little girl it was, but when they came out with a little girl on their side, I'm like, oh, they're gonna lose. Like I realized it just then, and I mean, not surprisingly, he did. Maybe other people would have been like, oh, they would lose, girl and no girl, but I don't know. You bring a little girl to a fight, it alters the way you fight. Like you don't want to, if it's your daughter, you don't want her to see you go full tilt aggression against anything, even if it's just like through, vicariously through robots. I mean, maybe if you have like a very interesting relationship with her, but obviously you do if she's like interested in coming out anyway. But I think that holds people back. And whether I'm right or not on the reasoning, I was correct in my belief. So I'm going to hold to it. But yeah, I was disappointed to see Bronco. Bronco was fucking dismantled too. Like they ripped all 6 wheels off. That was just embarrassing. I really wanted to see Bronco go all the way against Tombstone again. But just
that's what Minotaur said they were going to do. Like they were going to take his wheels out, and they did. They took all of them. They took all of his wheels.
All 6. It was funny how long fucking Bronco kept going though.
Yeah,
they took off like 4, and he was like, "I'm still going. I'm still in it. I can still win, baby." No, not with your flipper messed up at the end. I don't know why they went flipper first to begin with. Like they had practice shit, going backwards. It worked really well against Razorback. Yeah, I mean they tried it against Chromefly. Chromefly was a piece of shit anyway, but But like fucking Bronco, like it always baffles me. It baffles me when they abandon strategy that works to do something different, and they get the shit kicked out of them. I mean, Bronco went head first. Fucking Bombshell switched up the weapon that had been working for the last 2 or 3 matches.
Yep.
Yeah, because they used it against Red Devil too.
Fucking
God, but there were some really fucking great matches in this whole thing. There's some of these that I'm reviewing these. I'm still surprised that fucking Stinger got beat by Mega Tinto. That's just ridiculous.
Fucking Mega Tinto.
But what about that match against fucking Yeti versus Tombstone? Where they take Yeti's wheels off and Yeti's just still like doing like using his little like antenna thing to try and like get forward and like, I'm still alive. You cannot kill me.
And they're like, nope,
Yeah,
we killed you.
Yeah, I mean your drum spinner's not spinning because it's dragging on the ground, but I mean you can crawl around all you want. Oh,
I'm alive.
fucking! I'm not dead yet. Don't let them bury me.
Fucking Tombstone.
Fucking Beta. Taking Tombstone to the
Beta, dude. That was the fucking Rudy of the whole season.
I know.
That dude was awesome.
I know.
At the beginning, I was like, your robot's stupid and you're stupid and your dream's going to die here. And he kept going. Kept going. And I was like, you know what? By the end of it, I was just rooting for the dude. I was like, it's a dumb thing. And it's fail. And you fail. It's all fail. But, dude, I'm rooting for you.
It's like Rocky at the end of Rocky 4. You stupid American. You're fighting a 6'4" Russian. You think you're going to win. By the end of it is, Rocky, Rocky. If I can change, and you can change, we all can change. I'm fine. Bronco.
I don't know. It was a season of drama. It was like that one bot, the other bot with the hammer and the fire. What's that one? The
Witch Doctor, Stinger. Huh?
The Chomp?
Chomp, yes. The one like every time I hit with the hammer, it like spewed flame.
Yeah, the whole thing like flipped around.
That's what it was designed to do anyway.
Yeah.
In fact, every time it hit its hammer, it would like spin around and fall in stuff. It was entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it was like watching a midget with a sledgehammer. Like I hated that thing. I still do. I still think it's a stupid fucking thing. But when it had that one hit that won the match.
Against Bite Force? Was that one?
Was it Bite Force?
It beat Bite Force. It beat Captain Shredderator and it beat Bite Force in the round of 32. I mean, 32 and smaller. I mean, there was a pre-rounds where there was like 48. But yeah, I think it was Bite Force where it like hit it right on the chain, and so like the vertical spinner didn't work anymore.
Did the thing that they said they had to do to win, and they did it. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll be goddamned.
Well, goddamn. There was one moment in the fight against Yeti where it like did its hammer and it did like I don't even know what you call it, like, you know, a half somersault in the air and landed back on, you know, right side up. And I was like, I don't even know if the people noticed that because that happened so quickly. I had to rewind it a couple of times. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what it did. It like jumped in the air, twisted around, and then landed back on its wheels.
Yeah, I totally golf clapped.
Yeah, I was like,
after they hit it, I was like, oh, all right, yeah. I fucking despise your robot, but all right, nice. You have earned my respect, sir, or madam, as it were.
Yeah. You should tell people when you post this episode. You should tell people to go to battlebots.com/bracket-s2 so they can follow along with our conversation and see like which individual robots we're talking about. I'm just saying. You know, why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, I was waiting for your video to catch up. Your video is about 3 seconds behind your audio.
Your video is about 3 seconds behind your audio. You fuck.
That's fair.
That's why we're friends.
But yeah, so that happened this summer. But the fall is coming, James.
Yeah,
there's a chance for things to get better.
Is there a particular date you're thinking about?
No, but things are about to happen. Did you see the trailer for American Gods?
I've seen a trailer for American Gods. I don't know if it's the most recent one.
They did another one.
Then no.
Uh,
Although I did read an article in Entertainment Weekly about it.
yeah, I'm psyched for that. That looks
I
very
too am
good.
psyched.
Looks like it's been well cast.
They've got like 5 or 6 people playing Jesus, from what I heard.
I did not hear that.
At least a few. Because like somebody was like, oh, I can't believe they cast somebody white as Jesus. Uproar, uproar, uproar. And then it's like, well, they cast somebody white, they cast somebody Mexican, they cast somebody like Indian or something, like Middle Eastern. Yeah, they cast several Jesuses. So that should be interesting. And some of you people may be like, is Jesus in this book? And some of the people that read it may be like, is Jesus in this book? And the answer is he's in the 10th anniversary edition, not in part of the story, but there's like basically a deleted scene at the end of the book where Shadow and Jesus have a meeting. So I don't know if they're going to flesh that out, if they're going to like how much they're going to add to it.
They're twisting the book a little bit.
Well, they're going to have to, otherwise, I mean, the book you can make like a 4-hour movie out of, and then you're done. But this is going to be like an ongoing series or a miniseries.
I think it'll be ongoing.
Yeah, well, if you're an ongoing, then yes, you're going to have to twist the shit out of everything. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it.
Don't. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm very psyched about Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, November. Excited about that. September 30th on Netflix.
One.
Luke Cage.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Luke Cage looks like it's going to be a whole other beautiful thing.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Everyone I've seen, all the reviews I've seen where people like got the first 7 episodes, they're just like, yeah, this is something different.
Oh, yeah.
And it's looking like they've created a black superhero that isn't a superhero that's black. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like
Falcon.
You can right. Like Falcon could be, you could like recast that to be anybody.
Yeah, you could take any of the Avengers and make them Falcon, and it works. Luke Cage looks like, this is Luke Cage. He is black. He lives in Harlem. All of this is important.
Yes. The man is a Negro.
But yeah, everything they've talked about, the aesthetics and the influences and stuff like that, I think it's going to be very... I know it's going to be stylish and cool. But I think there's going to be some interesting things.
Yeah, and apparently Rosario Dawson has a significant part in it as well. So definitely melding the world of Daredevil that Daredevil is already built and embroidered into the existence of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
And weaving the story into that. Carrie Ann Moss will probably have a piece too, because I heard she was supposed to be in like all of the Netflix series.
Yeah, so we got that coming, and then Punisher and Iron Fist next year.
Yeah.
So you got this whole Netflix Marvel world.
Yeah, like a sub-universe.
I saw a rumor going around that they have not completely nixed the idea of having them pop into
the
Infinity War.
Oh, yeah. That should be cool.
Yeah.
I love being alive right now. And that's not just a Hamilton reference. Look around, now look, we ought to be alive right now. So, yeah, Marvel Cinematic Universe is fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving the things that I've grown up with, like being such big entities. That was really weird. I just had a synesthetic moment where I thought I could smell your pipe smoke.
Happens.
Yeah. But there's also something coming to theaters in America next month.
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah.
That I am
James,
really fucking excited for.
James, I thought we already got a Godzilla movie.
We did. We got what's his face's movie back in 2014.
But
with Ken Watanabe and
what more could we want?
Heisenberg.
What more could we want, James?
We could want an original Toho, fucking new rebooted Japanese
Godzilla!
Gojira! Shin Gojira.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
So what do they call it?
Popcorn, soda, fucking Raisinets.
Oh, I will be in the fucking movie
Godzilla.
theater. It's only a limited release. It's like October 11th through the 18th. So,
that's the noise best I can do. You can't do Godzilla noise dead only.
I can't. I know I can't do it. I'll practice it for next week. Oh, Gojira Shin.
Da 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 da.
What's wrong with my keyboard?
So what? If you don't know what I'm referencing, folks, just YouTube Tracy Morgan, Jim Brewer, SNL opening with Matthew Broderick when Matthew Broderick was pushing his Godzilla movie. When was that piece of shit?
1998.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Yeah. Kiddos, if you haven't
you can
seen
check
that,
if you want, but
if you haven't seen that piece of shit, boy, like if the last one, if the Heisenberg Godzilla wasn't your cup of tea, go back and see the one with Matthew Broderick, and just spoon feed that heaping pile of shit because we were excited.
we were,
excited.
and then we saw it.
Taco Bell Chihuahua was selling us on it, and we believed him. Believed the Chihuahua, and he was a little fucking liar. He was a shill.
The bastard.
Slinging Godzilla shit. They had these cup holders you could get. There was a big plastic Godzilla, and he would hold your giant stupid cup. And I bought it because I was like, of course this movie's going to be awesome. And it was a fucking piece of shit.
It was.
So it's important to go back to our roots, to kneel at the altar of Shin Godzilla and see a dude in a fucking suit destroy buildings.
Directed by Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi. From the film series Godzilla, music composed by Shiro Senguchi. From Toho.
Sushi motherfuckers you can take to the bank.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be subtitled or if it's going to be dubbed. I imagine if it's only
I hope it's dubbed shittily.
Actually, so do I now.
That would make it so much better if it's just shittily dubbed the whole way through. It's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. I was going to go to the pachinko club, but then there was a monster.
Oh no! Save me from the monster. Godzilla is attacking the city.
Oh no, Gojira.
You know, the thing is, because your video is off sync, it actually looks like you're dubbed in the Japanese movie.
I'm also laughing at the fact that we're doing like misdubbing jokes on an audio podcast.
See it in your head, folks. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
We're trying to
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so here's kind of something to wrap things up with. So yesterday, I'm looking at Facebook, and George Takei's, I follow him on the Facebook, and he basically just reposts shit. That's all he does. And every now and then he'll say, hey, this is a musical I'm doing, or Brad and I are in, I'm trying to remember, I think they went to Italy for their anniversary or some shit. But anyway, so he posts this article from Distractify about there's a guy who on Twitter, do you know who? You don't. Nobody does. Just come here. She's a astronaut. She's a current round of astronauts. She's one of the trainees. She actually went through astronaut training and finished it, I think, in July of last year.
Uh-huh.
So right now she's an astronaut. Now, being actually the easiest thing in the world.
No.
So did you catch any of that? Did all that?
Being astronaut is not the easiest thing in the world.
Yes. So yeah, being an astronaut is the easiest thing in the world. You have to have at least a doctorate. Most of them have multiples, and they do, they have some level of like flight training and shit like that before you ever apply. You got all this other shit going on, so they're pretty bright. So this article that George Takei posts is about a post she put on Twitter where she's like, "Hey, look, I'm in a room that simulates the atmosphere of space, or lack thereof. So water spontaneously boils." And she posts a video of her sitting in this room, and there's a cup of water in front of her, and she's boiling like crazy.
Yeah.
And this guy posted on there, he's like, well, I wouldn't call it spontaneous. Actually, the pressure difference converted the water instantly. Basically, corrected an astronaut. And Twitter just lit into them. Just like, hey, just shredded him. This left and right, just like,
yeah.
So they go onto his Facebook page, and like they find out he went to space camp. So making fun of him about that and all this shit. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I know this guy. And I don't mean like know of him. I know him. Like we worked together years ago. And we're friends on Facebook. And when I took my concealed carry course a few years back, he was in my same class. Like that, we hadn't seen each other in years, and he was in the class with me. All right. And so as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand why." He's a bright guy. He's an engineer. I'm not sure if he's got his PhD or not. I think he does, but he works for Exxon, I think. But I texted him, messaged him on Facebook. I clicked the article. I was like, "Hey, man, did you see you made George Takei's page via Distracted Guy?" he goes, "Yes, I am aware. The last week has been a living hell." I was like, he's like, yeah, they found my Facebook page, and they've been like, it's been bad. It's been really bad. I was like, well, that's why I don't post to Twitter directly. I certainly don't like holler shit at people, or try and fucking correct anybody that's famous, anybody with a following, because you tick off the wrong. That's it. Yeah. You're out there, man. You're off in the social, like you're connected to the whole world, and all it takes is one motherfucker to set the dominoes rolling toward you. In a world where a dude could get like $100,000 on his GoFundMe site to make potato salad, just because somebody thinks it's funny. Like you don't want to fuck with fate. Let's see, a woman scientist. I should correct her. Oh no, man, there's a lot of chicks out there just waiting for that. Oh no, nope. I took a feminist literature course.
Bad call, Ripley. Bad call. I'm sorry, what?
I took a feminist literature course at LSU. All right. I don't know what I expected. Like, I was like, I'm drawing myself out, literarily. There's portions of it I don't understand. As a man, a modern learned man, I should study this, even though it might be uncomfortable. But it would make me a more well-rounded individual. And it was hostile. I already get it. Yes, I am a straight white male. I understand the state of the world is entirely my fault. And here I am. Please. Okay. But I learned quickly not to say anything to these women, because they just, every time they bring up not even a controversial topic, but a topic that could have some discussion. I learned like week 2. No, Nick, this is for you. No, just sit here. Just sit. Your opinion doesn't matter, and it will be quickly shredded. Just sit back. Just sit back.
Yeah, just chill. Just observe. Yeah.
But there was another dude in my class that was on the weightlifting team, I think,
Okay.
and he never learned. So I would just sit there and like they would say something, and it was probably 18 women, 4 guys. 2 of the guys were gay, so they were safe. You know, at least there's some level where they're like, "Oh no, we understand."
Yeah, we're no threat to the vagina. It's fine.
Yeah, we fucking straight guys. Am I right? And so it was me and the other dude, and just the whole class. I'd just look at him and be like, "Don't talk. Just sit here.
Don't move. They can't see us if we don't move.
Just write your papers. Turn them in. Don't ever talk." It was bad. It was a rough class.
Did you learn anything in the end of it all?
I learned that the teacher was a bitch. And I'm not just saying, like, she was one of the worst teachers I've ever had. Like, yeah, I learned a lot of things I wouldn't have learned otherwise. I read a lot of things I wouldn't have read otherwise. I learned enough to go, like, to where I'm in a group, like at the theater, and there are some up-and-coming young feminists that are, like, trying to explain what male gaze is or shit like that. These concepts, I can go, actually, that's not right. Let me, I'm going to go, huh? Just let you be wrong. But, like, I remember her, I remember it was going to be rough when I got her syllabus. And all our reports had to be, it was 2 pages, front and back, single-spaced, same page, single-spaced with her name in the top left, spelled the way she spells it with the little accent mark on the E on the end, and the time and date. Like, it was ridiculously
Holy
anal.
specificity.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. But I needed the credit. And I don't think I ended up even getting it. I think that might have been is either that or African American literature. One of those 2 classes that I got through, I got an A, and I never got credit for it because I had meant to defer that. It was like a summer course, and I meant to defer it, and I didn't end up paying for it or something, so I never got the credit for it. But I went through the whole class.
Oh. Okay.
I think it might have been that. I think it might have been that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've learned. Is 2 things. One, don't correct a woman on social media. That's bad because everyone will see you do it, and then they will kill you. And then on the other side, astronauts always get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Just assume that they know what they're talking about, and don't try to teach them things.
Yeah, I think if she says it spontaneously, I mean, I think she knows what's happening and why it's boiling. I think people know that, or people of a certain scientific caliber are familiar with the idea of water boiling. Yeah, thermodynamics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just vapor pressure or lack thereof. So, I mean, that's chemistry. That's not even. I don't know why I think of thermodynamics as something that's like college, and like this particular concept is something that's like high school. But I think she knows what she's talking about.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Although even I use the words mass and weight a lot in class, and like when I say mass, I have to like make sure that I'm like, did I say mass? And I don't actually say like, oh, this weighs so many kilograms. It's like, no, it has a mass of so many kilograms. So, it's irritating.
Well, James, I'm having Chinese for dinner.
Oh, does Carol know?
No, she's wearing the outfit.
Ooh!
I get her dressed up like one of those to-go boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, with a big wire handle on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to open it up and dump her out on a big bed of rice.
Sounds enticing.
And then pick her up with chopsticks. So that's my evening. I will see you next week.
All right. I'm going to do a shit ton of grading. That's my evening.
Oh. Yay.
Yeah. Woo!
With that, I'm Nick Moore.
I'm James Brown.
You've been dorked.
You have been dorked. Gojira!
What are you grading, like tests?
No, just homework. Lots of homework. And a lab report. Chemistry's lab report.
Do you do like multiple choice shit a lot, or I guess you can't do that with a lab report?
No. And with physics, like they have to figure out shit. So like, show your work, find the answer. If you don't find the answer, I can be like, oh, you forgot to multiply times 9.8, meters per second squared to represent that this is a weight instead of a mass, because mass is not force. Weight is force. So if you're trying to figure out work, you have to find force times distance, not mass times distance.
See, what drove me fucking nuts is when the teacher is like, you didn't show how you... Is it right? Is it the right answer? God.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but then you might have just copied from your neighbor.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Just let that happen. Just let it go. Stop.
Let it go. Let it go.
That's my big problem in geometry. I could get the answers right, but I didn't always. I'm like, this isn't a math problem as much as it is like a word problem.
It's like a logic problem.
There's a shape there, and I can look at that, and here we go. She's like, oh, okay, you didn't do this right. I'm like, but the answer's right. Dick? Actually, it wasn't a dick. It was a old lady. It was. She was a dick.
How come old ladies can't be dicks?
I think they can. This lady was a dick, and she's dead now, so it's fine.
Oh, dead dick.
She may not be, but she was old then.
Old men forget that all should be forgot, but they'll remember with advantages what feats they did that day. I'm fine.
All right, James. I'll see you next week.
All right, you shitbag.
You dickhole. You. Oh.